start na tayo. So, good morning everyone. This is the course unit 2 of our CRIM111 subject, Introduction to Criminology and Psychology of Crimes. So, the topic to be discussed for today is all about the definition of criminology, the scope, and the principal divisions. So, criminology starts. Kailan ba ito nag-start? Do you have any idea? So, criminology came from the Latin word crimen, which means accusation. Okay po? And Greek, logia, which means to study. Okay? Please bear in mind, if the word is ending with the word logi, it means they are telling into study. So, yung Greek word na logia, okay, it means to study. Again, criminology came from the Latin word crimen, which means accusation, and Greek logia, which means to study. So, it is the social science approach to study of the crime as an individual and social phenomenon. So, criminology starts. Baba ko nga itong mic ko para mas maintindihan yung maigi. So, in 1885, we have this Italian law professor named Raffaele Garofalo. He coined the term criminology, in Italian, criminologia. So, nung unang-una, ang pinakaunang nag-use ng word ng criminology is itong si Raffaele Garofalo. So, he coined the term criminologia. Okay po. Then, next one, we have this French anthropologist, which is Paul Topinard. Itong nasa right side. So, he used it for the first time in French naman, criminology, i.e. naman, around the same time that Mr. Raffaele Garofalo used the Italian word criminologia. So, next. So, what is criminology ba? Diba? Sabi nga niya, criminology is an interdisciplinary field in the behavioral sciences. That is why meron nga siyang psychological, diba? So, drawing especially on research, sociology, and psychology, as well on writings and law. So, next. Ano ba ang criminology? So, criminology is an advanced theoretical field of study. It can be defined as the study of crime, as we all know, diba? The causes of crime, or what we call the etiology, the meaning of crime in terms of law, community reaction, and to crime, diba? So, in short, okay, ang criminology, para malaman natin ang pinaka-meaning niya, ito yung pinag-aaralan natin ng mga different crimes. Also, the causes of crime, or it includes etiology. Again, just to be specific, okay? Kapag ang sinabi is pinag-aaralan natin is the causes of crime. Therefore, pag causes dahilan, okay? The causes of crime. Therefore, we're just pertaining to the word etiology. Okay? Pag ang sinabi natin is we're just looking for the causes of crime, that is etiology. Pero, kapag, okay, ang pinag-aaralan natin is the study of crime, and it includes the causes of crime, or what we call the etiology, the meaning of the crime itself in terms of law, and the reactions of the community towards a crime, therefore, we are studying criminology. So, ang criminology, it doesn't stop to the definition of term that we're just going to study the crime. Okay? Criminology is a broad study that involves, sabi nga niya, study of crime, causes of crime, the meaning of crime in terms of law, and the community reaction to crime. So, maraming definition ng criminology. So, other definitions of criminology, according to, Cirilo M. Trejo. So, criminology as a body of knowledge regarding delinquency and crime as a social phenomenon. Ma'am, what's the difference between having a crime and delinquency? A crime, it means there is a law punishing it. A delinquency, this is just a normal acts or a normal behaviors that parang nag-a-apply siya sa mga bata, okay? Or the status offenses. It may also refer to the study of crimes, again. We also study the criminals and the attempt of analyzing scientifically their causes and control and the treatment of criminals. So, hindi tayo mag-i-stop na pag-aaralan mo what is crime, sino yung mga criminal, but also, diba, we are scientifically analyzing, diba, on how can we control those crimes and the treatment of criminals. So, another definition of criminology we have here is for Mr. Batol. from 1995, sabi naman niya, 'di ba? Criminology as a multidisciplinary study of crimes. This means, 'di ba, that many disciplines are involved in the collection of knowledge about criminal action, including psychology, in the collection of knowledge, 'di ba? Sociology, anthropology, biology, neurology, political science, and economics. Kung alam nyo lang, okay, ang criminology, napaka-complicated study na to. Kaya nga yung mga nagsasabi na, ay, pang-bobong course lang ang crim, 'di ba? Ay, madali lang ang crim. Pues, 'di ba? Sila kaya ang pumunta sa shoes nyo, 'di ba? Sila kaya ang mag-aral at ma-experience sila kung ano ba yung pinag-aaralan natin sa crim. Walang madaling course, 'di ba? Pero kasi madalas, okay, napapansin ko sa iba, sinasabi nila parang napakadali lang daw. Sabi nila ang mag-aral ng criminology. Pero hindi nila alam, okay? If you study criminology, okay, madami pong other sciences ang naka-align sa ating course. So, including psychology, sociology, anthropology, neurology, political sciences, and economics. So, ngayong mga first year, ngayon pa lang, sinasabi ko na po sa inyo, maghanda-handa na kayo sa ating mga subjects. Diba? So, next. Criminology is the study of crime, diba? A social phenomenon of criminals, the mental traits and habits and discipline as defined by Edwin Sutherland and Donald Cressy. We also have another definition given by Eliot and Merrill. Criminology is the study of crimes and its treatments. Nakita nyo? Di ba yung definition ng criminology, hindi lang siya nag-i-stop dun sa meaning na it is the study of crime. Okay, hindi siya nag-i-stop doon Sabi nga niya, it is the study of crime and its treatment, diba? It's the study of criminals. It also includes the study of the causes of the crime, diba? And also the reaction of the community. Ganon ka-wide ang study of criminology. Ito pa, according to Tao, sabi nga niya, a more simplified definition of criminology by stating that criminology is the study of all subject matters necessary in understanding and preventing crime, the punishment and treatment of criminals. Okay? So, criminology is a broad field of study that encompasses the study of crimes and criminals. So, siguro, niyan, meron na kayong definition sa mind nyo. Okay, it's the scope of criminology. Ano ba yung scope ng criminology? We have the lawmaking, law-breaking, societal reactions to law-breaking. So, tatlo. Again, we have 3 scopes of criminology: lawmaking, law-breaking, and societal reactions to law-breaking. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Scope of criminology on the process of making laws. Tanong, sino ba ang mga gumagawa ng batas dito? Yung ating mga Senators. Very good. We also have the House of Representatives. Diba? So, on the process of making laws, paano ba nagkakaroon ng scope ang criminology dito? So, ganito siya. So, pinag-aaralan sa criminology, why are laws developed? Diba? Bakit natin dinevelop ang laws? How? Diba? It also answers the questions how, kung paano nila nade-develop yung laws. What is the origin of law? Bakit nila i-establish yan, diba? What acts are considered by law as crime? Again, sabi ko nga, there is no law, or there is no crime when there is no law punishing it. So, paano mo masasabi na yung isang act is considered as a crime? So, yan, on the process of making laws. So, how does that criminal behavior differ from a non-criminal behavior as defined by law? Ayan, dinidiscuss din natin yan. And what are the significance of law in the study of crimes and criminals? Okay po. So, one part of the scope of criminology is the process of making laws. So, therefore, in order for us, or yung mga legislatives natin, yung ating mga senators, yung ating mga local government units, in their process of making laws, pumupunta sila dito sa questions na to, bago sila makapag-create ng laws. Next, another scope of criminology. Siyempre, kung meron tayong batas, diba? Siyempre, hindi natin maiwasan yung mga kriminal or yung mga nagbe-break ng laws. Kaya nga, diba, ginawa ang batas para dun sa mga klase ng tao na, nagbe-break ng laws. So, scope of criminology on the breaking of laws, it answers the question of this one. So, why do some people break laws? Diba? Siyempre, isipin mo, Meron namang batas, meron namang process. Bakit kaya yung iba mas pinipili na mag-break ng law? So, in-answer natin yan. So, what factors contribute to the breaking of laws? Meron bang nakaka-affect? Meron bang, meron bang nakaka-influence dun sa tao na yon? Diba? What are the theories of crime causation? Diba? Meron kayong subject na theories of crime causation and we're going to discuss kung ano yung different causations, why do people commit crimes, 'di ba? Then who are the proponents, 'di ba? How do criminologists and jurists treat the nature of violator, 'di ba? We have different treatment kasi with regards to our criminals. Mapag-aaralan din natin 'yan. So despite laws, rules, regulations, policies, ordinances, presidential decrees and executive orders, why do some people insist and persist in breaking or violating laws? Sa tingin nyo, 'di ba? Bakit kaya ang dami naman nating batas pero there are still some human, 'di ba, na they will choose to commit a crime. So, what is the formula of criminal behavior? May formula nga ba? Ano nga ba 'yon, 'di ba? What are the different crime typologies or the different types of crimes? Next, scope of criminology on penology or correction. Diba? Ito. What is penology ba? Parang, it is the study of how the treatment of the offenders. Okay? On penology or correction. Ano yun, ma'am? Yun yung mga BGMP, Bureau of Correction. Okay? So, how does society react to violations and violators of laws? Again, so why does the state react to violation of law? Paano tayo magre-react, diba? How effective are the correctional institution in its mission of crime and criminal control? So, what are the correctional processes and methods are appropriate to correct behavior of a convict? May process pa ba doon? Yes. Sa lahat ng treatment ng mga criminals, meron tayong process doon. At doon natin nakikita kung gaano ka-effective ang ating mga correctional institution in the treatment of our offenders. So, what are the jails and prison? Is organization, administration, and program. So, kung makikita nyo, diba, yung una, anong process niya doon sa paggawa ng batas? Diba? On process of making laws. Siyempre, kung may batas, siyempre, merong magbe-break ng laws. On the process of breaking laws. Kanino naman yon? Tumutukoy yun sa mga kriminal. And this one, on penology or correction, tumutukoy ito kung paano natin, diba, masusolusyonan or mabibigyan ng treatment yung mga nag-commit ng crime. It is a process, kung makikita nyo. Sabi nga natin, the scope of criminology doesn't stop just learning or just studying the crime, the meaning of crime. But it involves, 'di ba? A lot of sciences, 'di ba? A lot of studies. So, tingnan nyo, sabihin na natin study of law, pwede na rin yung, 'di ba, and making of crimes. Then, study of criminals, syempre 'yon, on process of breaking the criminal laws or breaking the laws. And this one, paano natin mape-prevent, diba? And penology and correction, this answers the questions on how we can prevent or treat the offenders or to stop them in creating or behaving into a bad one. So, ito kasi tinatawag nating on crime, on penology and correction, meron din po yung role natin na on crime victimization. Meron po tayong victimology. Okay? So, what are the basic concepts and theoretical principles of victimology? Ayan. Meron kasing role ang victim natin in every crime. Di ba nga sabi nila, minsan, sa rape, mali yung ganong isipan, di ba sinasabi nila, kaya niya na-rape kasi ganyan pinagsusuot niya. Diba? Victim blaming, sabi nga natin. Pero sometimes, meron kasing big role ang ating mga victims. Lalo na, diba, doon sa ating, yung triangular ng ating crime, diba? We have this opportunity, motive, diba? And the criminal act. Okay? What are the basic concepts and theoretical principles of victimology? What is the concept of victimization? How does one become a victim of a crime? So, what are the sources of victimization and what are the victims' contributions to the crime problem? So, meron pong contribution ng mga victim na yan, di ba? Siguro kapag na-experience nila to, they could give us advice, di ba? O kasi po, ganitong nangyari sa akin, kaya niya ako naloko. 'Diba? So, meron pong role yung mga victim natin. Though sa ating criminal justice system, okay, madalas nakakalimutan natin yung role of victim. Okay? So, next. So, what are the risk reduction activities in victimization? So, kapag nakapag-interview tayo ng mga victims natin and they said yung mga anong nangyari sa kanila, nakakagawa tayo ng ganito, risk reduction activities. So, therefore, pwede natin yung ibigay sa ating community for them, diba, to avoid those type of criminals or para hindi sila ma-involve. Again, so, principal divisions of criminology. Ito. Meron tayong 4. Umpisahan muna natin dito. So, criminal sociology and etiology. Yung kanina, ano nga yung kanina natin, bago tayo pumunta sa principal division? Scope. Ito naman, principal divisions of criminology. So, number 1, we have the criminal sociology and etiology. What is criminal sociology and etiology? Again, diba? Pag sinabi natin yung word na etiology, we are pertaining to the study or the causes of crime. Okay? So, criminal sociology, or also known as etiology, it is an attempt to provide scientific analysis of the causes of crime. Next, we have the sociology of law, criminal law and jurisprudence. So, it is the division of criminology which attempt to other scientific analysis of the conditions under which penal or criminal laws develop as a process of formal social control. It simply deals with the study of law and its application. So, sa sociology of law, dito, magdideal tayo kung doon parang sa process of making of laws. Okay po. So, what are the different types of laws? So, what are the different sources of laws? Ayan. Next. We also have the penology or correction, yung na-discuss din kanina. So, it deals with the punishment and the treatment of criminals. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kapag penology or correction, punishment lang siya. Ang pinaka-essence kasi or pinaka-goal ng ating penology or correction is to correct the offenders from their bad behavior or yung sa kanilang nagawang crime. So, to control and prevention of crime and the treatment of youthful offenders. Next. Criminalistics. Alam niyo ba yan? Or forensic sciences. Magkakaroon kayo ng ganyan mga subjects. Usually, yan yung mga napapanood nyo sa mga CSI, ganyan, na may fingerprint, may photography, may polygraph, may ballistics. So, what is criminalistics or forensic sciences? So, one more area concerned in crime detection and investigation. Ito yung pinaka-importanting part when it comes in the investigation, crime detection and investigation. So, criminalistics is included as a division in criminology because criminologists are also engaged in studying criminal things. The analysis of physical evidences taken from the crime scene left behind by a criminal perpetrator. Ang criminalistics kasi natin, tinatawag natin forensic sciences. Okay? May subject kayo yan. 6 areas yan. May major subject yan. Ginagawa niya, ang malaking role niya is for the detection and investigation. Why? Kasi siya yung nag-e-examine doon sa mga physical evidences na nakuha ng mga investigator natin sa ating crime scene. Nakuha? For example, may natirang bullet doon, di ba? Or merong naiwan na any type of evidence. So, ang criminalistics or applied sciences natin or forensic sciences, ito yung nagiging way para malaman natin saan to nanggaling. Diba? Kanino to nagsimula. Ayan. Next. So, ito. Wag ko na muna sabihin tong quote na to. Let's go with the course unit 3. So, doon nagtatapos ang ating course unit 2. O sige, sabihin ko na nga. Sabi niya, learning networking basic is only a gateway to career growth and exploration. So, reading is the basic for all learning. So, sasabihin ko sana to nung magkakaroon sana tayo ng klase. So, this, since hindi nga tayo nagkaroon ng klase noong August 31, and it is declared as a holiday. So, this quote, binibigay ko lang tong quote na to just to inspire everyone, diba? Na since this subject is known as Introduction to Criminology, so this subject will tackle all about your iniisip, 'di ba? Or all about the criminology. 'Di ba? Ito kasi yung pinaka first and foremost nyo para magkaroon kayo ng idea ano bang pag-aaralan namin, ma'am, sa buong 4th year. So sabi nga, learning networking basics is only a gateway, 'di ba, to career growth and exploration. And, 'di ba? Reading is the basics for all learning. So we We have different types of learning, but I advise you, kasi nakapost naman po dyan yung ating mga PowerPoint, is to read again, and read everything. Okay? Huwag kayong magbase na di man to diniscuss ni ma'am. Alam nyo sa college, okay, ang pinaka-importanting survival kit na meron kayo is to read by yourself. Hindi na po yan katulad ng senior high school or ng ating mga high school or grade school. Diba? During your senior high school, ganyan, or grade school, lahat provided yan ng teacher. Kailangan i-discuss muna. Okay? Sa time na ngayon, ng college, well, you'll need to deal it in your own. Diba? Tama na yung mga masyadong pabebe. Okay? Hindi alam ang gagawin. Bakit? We provide you naman the PowerPoint. So, it is for you to take an advanced reading. Also, diba, we provided you the instructions, diba? Unless hindi ako nagbibigay ng instructions. So, minsan, diba, nakaka-encounter kami, lalo na sa mga first year, nandiyan naman yung instructions, pero magtatanong pa rin. Anong kulang sa kanila? Reading. Diba? Minsan kasi parang blamsino, panlangsina ka ba, dapin king kapampangan eh. At your age of that, diba? Actually, dapat nga, third year na kayo eh. Diba? So, you should act as a college one na. Okay? So, tama na sa pagpapabebe. Ino-open ko na yung menu. Welcome to the college. So, next. Let's go now with the course unit 3. So, meron ba kayong tanong about the course unit 2? Wala. Okay. Now, so welcome to the course unit 3. Nakikita nyo ba siya? Okay.
Yes po.
Course unit 3, the topic for today naman is the nature of criminology. So, ano naman ang nature niya? So, the topics to be discussed for today is the nature, the object of interest, importance and purpose of criminal justice. So, very brief lang naman to. Buti nga lang konti ang slides natin ngayon eh. So, para malagay ko siya ng 1 hour. And I'm just using 20 minutes pa lang naman. So, nature of criminology. So, generally, criminology cannot be considered a science, sabi niya, because it has not yet acquired universal validity and acceptance. It is not stable and it varies from one time and place to another. However, sabi niya, considering that science is the systematic and objective study of social phenomenon and other bodies' knowledge, criminology is a science in itself when under the following nature. Okay. Ano kaya yon? How can we accept? Ayan. The nature of criminology, meron tayong 4. Applied science, social science, we also have dynamic and nationalistic. Okay? Again, the nature of criminology, we have 4. Applied science, social science, dynamic, and nationalistic. So, sabihin na natin unapplied science. Ano to? Diba? What is an applied science? If you could remember what I have tackled a while ago, pag sinabi nating applied science, diba, dito papasok yung word na criminalistics or yung forensic science, diba? An applied science. So, paano to? Anthropology, psychology, sociology, and other natural sciences may be applied in the study of causes of crime, while chemistry, medicine, physics, mathematics may be utilized in crime detection. This is called instrumentation. Again, unapplied science is also known instrumentation. Why, ma'am? Bakit sinabi na ang isang nature of criminology is called unapplied science? Because we are using the other sciences to discover, to prevent, or we can utilize them in crime detection. Paano yan, ma'am? O, sige. I'll give you an example, ma'am. For example, merong bangkay doon at ang hindi siya known identity, bungo na lang siya. Or sabihin natin skeletal na lang po siya, ma'am. Paano natin malalaman yon kung sino yung taong yon? We're going to use anthropology. Bakit ano po ba yung anthropology? It is the science wherein we're dealing with the human body. Diba? The characteristics of human body. Next, ma'am, bakit yung isang kriminal, ang hirap basahin ng utak niya, ma'am. Medyo may pagka-psychotic siya, ma'am. May pagka-neurotic siya. Then, in order for us to solve that crime, we're going to use the psychology. Diba? We're dealing about the human behavior. Yan. The other sciences. So, sabi ko nga, ang criminology talagang malawak siya. We're using different sciences in order for us to use it in the utilization in crime detection and crime prevention. Again, applied science is also known as instrumentation because we are using other sciences to prove the crime or to prove that someone has committed a crime. Next, another nature of criminology is what we call as social science. So, in as much as crime is societal creation and that it exists in a society, its study must be considered as a part of social science. Bakit, ma'am? Ano ba yung social science? Pag sinabi natin social science, we're dealing with the community. We're dealing with the other people. So, sabi nga niya, in as much as crime is a societal creation and that exists in society, therefore, we consider it as a part of social sciences. Bakit ba? 'Di ba? If you will, 'di ba, remember as I tackled a while ago, 'di ba? We're dealing with kung paano tayo kung paano nagbibigay ng reaction yung community towards dun sa isang crime, 'di ba? Towards dun sa isang criminal or towards dun sa isang law. Why, ma'am? Kasi isang role 'yon ng ating pag-create ng law, also for the crime detection, also for crime prevention. So, consider siya social sciences kasi nga, we deals within the society. Next. Another nature of criminology is dynamic. When we say dynamic ba, ano bang pumapasok sa utak nyo? Pag sinabi natin
Malawak.
Malawak. Ano pa? Pag sinabing dynamic, it means pabago-bago. Diba? Pabago-bago, yun ang meaning ng dynamic, di ba? Dynamic means criminology changes as social condition changes. So, that means the progress of criminology is concordant with the advancement of other sciences that have been applied to it. Bakit, ma? Bakit pabago-bago ang criminology? Okay, sige, I'll just give you an example. Dati, okay, di ba meron tayo tinatawag na forensic photography? Dati, ma'am, ang ginagamit lang natin to record or to save the crime scene is we're using the film cameras. Di ba? Kasi wala pa tayong digital noon. Film cameras pa lang. So, bakit nasabing dynamic? Kasi ngayon, nowadays, hindi lang film cameras ang ginagamit natin. We're using digital cameras, the DSLR. Also, we have the other techniques. We're using sometimes UV light, di ba? Infrared lights, di ba? So, dahil nagpatuloy ang pag-evolve ng technology, okay, patuloy din ina-adapt yon ng study of criminology. Kaya nga sabi niya, dynamic. Sometimes sabi niya, criminology changes as social condition changes. Again, another. Kung noong unang panahon, 'di ba, hindi pinaparusahan ang for example lang naman 'to kung unang panahon, pinaparusahan ang magpatay ng langgam. For example lang naman. Ngayon ba applicable pa rin ang magpatay ng langgam? Hindi. 'Di ba? Kaya nga dynamic kasi kailangan nating mag-adapt kung ano ang meron tayo ngayon. Unless, 'di ba, there are laws, 'di ba, na hindi naman na applicable na gusto mo ba ma-apply. Dati, 'di ba, meron tayong law na sinasabi niya bawal kang magkaroon ng pana. Meron tayong ganung law. Pero ngayon, applicable pa ba siya today? Hindi na. Bakit lang siya nagkaroon ng law doon? Kasi noon, wala namang another weapon kundi yung pana lang. Diba? Nagigets nyo ba why this criminology is dynamic? So, we are adapting to the changes as we go with the change of the condition changes or even yung panahon natin, diba, nag-change and the advancement of technology. Kaya sinabi ang criminology is dynamic. So, we're continuing to grow, diba? Next, the last one. We also have what we call nationalistic. Paano sinabing ang criminology is nationalistic? So, the study of crime must always be in relation with the existing criminal law within the territory. Ma'am, bakit ganun? Okay. Nationalistic, it means, ganito lang siya. Simply means na yung isang batas, hindi po siya yung isang batas ng isang country, hindi po siya magiging applicable dun sa another country. Diba? For example, diba sa Middle East, kapag nagnakaw ka, puputulin nila ang kamay mo. Tanong, yung bang law na yon applicable sa Philippines? Hindi. Diba? So, kaya sinabi siyang nationalistics kasi in our own country, we have our own laws own rules and regulations to be followed. Hindi siya pwedeng i-apply sa ibang bansa. So, minsan, we also have laws na hindi applicable sa kanila. So, again, di ba, kaya nga kapag nag-commit ka ng crime sa ibang bansa, sino ang magkakaroon ng jurisdiction sa'yo? Siyempre, yung ibang bansa. Bakit? Kasi sila ang doon ka nag-commit ng crime eh. Therefore, yung batas nila, yung mag-a-apply sa'yo. Naiintindihan nyo ba? O for example naman, dito po sila nag-commit ng crime, ma'am, sa Philippines. Sino may jurisdiction doon? Siyempre, ang Philippines. Kasi ang na-commit nilang crime is dito sa Philippines. Nagigets nyo po ba bakit siya nationalistic? Ha? Nagets nyo na ba niyan? So, the study of crime must always be in relation in the existing criminal law in the territory. Okay? Nagigets nyo po ba niyan? Ma'am, ibig sabihin po ba yung revised penal code ng Philippines, hindi po siya applicable sa ibang bansa? Of course! Ang revised penal code ng Philippines, dito lang siya. Ma'am, ibig sabihin po ba yung mga RAs, ayan, yung cybercrime laws, hindi siya applicable sa ibang bansa? Of course, dito lang siya sa Philippines. Pero, okay, pwede rin siyang maging applicable sa ibang bansa if they have their own laws na kahawig lang ng sa atin. Siguro sa atin, ang cybercrime law is known as RA ganto ganyan, sa kanila, iba ang tawag. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Nagets niyo na po ba niyan? Bakit nationalistic ang criminology? So again, we have four nature of criminology, also known as applied science, social science, dynamic, and nationalistic. And just to give you some tips, diba? Ako pag nag-aaral kasi ganito, para natatandaan ko yung mga yan, gumagawa ko ng mnemonics. Alam niyo yung mnemonics? Yung minsan gagawa ka ng abbreviation, diba? So ako, para matandaan ko yung nature of criminology, ginagawa ko, I'll call it nature of criminology, SAND. Binubuo ko yung word na SAND. Ma'am, bakit SAND? S stands for, diba? Social science. A stands for applied science. N stands for nationalistic. And D stands for dynamic. So, I'm just giving you some tips, diba? Para kayo ay makapag-aral ng gusto. So, hindi naman masama yun, diba? Next. Object of interest of the criminology. So, there are four major objects of interest in criminologists, and these are crimes, or the criminal acts, criminals, diba? Perpetrators of crime, or sino, criminal behavior, the behavior of those taking or committing a crime, and also, diba? Victimology, or what we call the study of victims. So, those are the four major objects of interest in criminology. Next. So, what is the importance of studying criminology ba? Diba? Ano ba ang importance niyan? So, studying crime is very important. In fact, diba, interest in crime has always been high by Bartol. So, however, diba, understanding why it occurs and what to do about it has always been a problem. Diba? However, diba, habang pinag-aaral natin ng crime, always nagiging problem, bakit ba lagi nagkakaroon ng crime? Diba? The offer of simple solutions for obliterating crime is not enough because of its complexities. Kasi madami tayong crime. Minsan, kahit gawin na natin magatong crime preventions, diba? Kahit sila, magpa-apply man sila ng mga crime, different strategies for crime prevention, hindi natin maiiwasan na magkakaroon talaga ng crime. So, sabi niya, understanding crime as complex as phenomenon can be. Paano ba? Ayan, ganito kasi ka-complex ang pinag-aaralan natin sa criminology. So, sabi nga niya, it is a source of philosophy of life. So, the knowledge derived from studying crime is a good foundation for an individual's philosophy and lifestyle. So, kayo, ayan. Kaya nga, di ba sinasabi na, criminology pa naman din kayo, pero wala kayong disiplina. Why? Kasi you are expected na pinag-aaralan mo yung crime, mga different behavior ng criminals. So, importance of studying criminology, it is a source of philosophy of life. Why? Diba? Kapag napag-aralan mo na yung mga batas, the different behaviors, the different causes, therefore, sabi niya, it could be a good foundation for an individual's philosophy and lifestyle. Why? Kasi meron ka ng knowledge about the crime, diba? About the effects of it, diba? It is also a background for your profession, for a social service. Siyempre, kapag nag-aral ka ng criminology, siyempre, in the future, diba, meron namang mga nag-aasam sa inyo or gustong maging part ng ating local government as law enforcers. So, because criminals are legitimate objects of interest, they should be understood in order to know how to control them. Okay, ganito. Alam niyo ba, sa criminology, ang mga criminals, hindi natin sila kino-considered as bad person. As we go deep in studying criminology, dun yun yung marirealize na kapag ang isang crime or isang criminal, tinitreat natin sila as sick persons. Bakit sick person, ma'am? Kasi kailangan natin silang i-treat. So, mali yung notion na nasa isip natin na binibigyan natin sila ng parusa. Binibigyan natin sila ng parusa or punishment in correction or penalty just for the purpose of correcting them. Diba? Also, a form of crime prevention. So, sa criminology, iniintindi natin sila, bakit sila nakakommit ng crime? Or ano ba yung mga factors, diba, na naka-influence sa kanila, bakit sila nag-commit ng crime? Hindi lang tayo basta-basta nagbibigay ng punishment. Kaya nga, diba, meron tayong court or paglilitis. Kasi nga, kailangan muna din yung malaman yung causes. Bakit ganun? Ma'am, pinatay niya si ganito pero hindi siya nakulong. Bakit ganito, ma'am? Pinatay niya si ganyan or nagnakaw siya ng ganito pero ganito lang ang kanyang punishment. Kasi nga, kapag nag-study tayo ng criminology, and we deal with those criminals, okay, pinag-aaralan muna natin yung mga very reasons why do they commit a crimes. And sometimes, nami-mitigate yung punishment nila dahil doon. So, sabi ko nga, as a part of criminal justice system, minsan nakakalimutan natin itong si victim. Nagpo-focus tayo dun sa mismong criminal. Bakit, ma'am? Kasi si criminal nun ang magiging major role sa criminal justice system. Bakit? Sa law enforcer pa lang, sa prosecution, sa court, sa correction, and also kapag na-involve na siya sa community. Okay? Next, because crime is a costly problem, the value of property loss, medical expenses, and insurance, moving costs, and intangible costs of pain and suffering is too high as a result of victimization. Okay? Sabi nga na dyan, crime is a costly problem. It means minsan magastos eh. Kaya nga yung iba minsan hindi na sila sasampa ng kaso, 'di ba? Or sometimes dinadaan na lang sa usapan, 'di ba? Magandang usapan. Lalo na sa mga car accidents, madalas kong na-encounter 'yan eh. 'Di ba kapag may car accident, dapat nga makukulong yung isa, pero dinadaan na lang nila sa magandang usapan. Kasi bakit? It involves the value of property law. So for example, may nagnakaw or may nasunugan, 'di ba? Medical expenses o yung taong naging biktima nila, 'di ba? Insurance, moving costs, intangible cost of pain, yan. Cost of pain, ayan. Yan ang hindi mo mababayaran, yung pain and suffering ng isang tao. Next. So, purpose. So, those are the importance. Now, this is the purpose of studying criminology. So, what is the purpose of studying criminology? Number 1, 'di ba? The primary aim is to prevent the crime problem. Bakit ba natin pag-aaralan pa ang criminology, ma'am? Siyempre, we're aiming for the solution na alin? As much as possible, wala lang crime na mangyari. So, the primary aim or the purpose of studying criminology is to prevent the crime problem. Next, so, to understand crimes and criminals, again, which are basic to knowing the actions to be done to prevent them. So, we are studying crimes. So, what are the different type of crimes in accordance with the law? And also, we are studying the different criminals, diba? Kung paano natin gagawin yon to prevent those type of criminals in committing the crime again. Next. Another purpose of studying criminology, to prepare for a career in law enforcement and scientific crime detection. Yan, kayo. Bakit kayo nag-aaral ng criminology? Siyempre, di ba? Sa career nyo. In some days, di ba? Some of you wants to be a police officer. Nga pala. Okay? Hindi ibig sabihin nag-aral tayo ang course nyo is criminology, mag-i-stop lang kayo dun sa tinatawag nating magiging police to someday. So, that is a common notion of everyone, which is, minsan, ang hirap i-correct, lalo na sa mga hindi naman nag-aral ng criminology. Ang akala kasi nila, kapag nag-aral ka ng crime, okay, ang magiging future mo agad is police lang. Tama po ba? So, kapag nag-aral ka ng criminology, open yan sa lahat ng different types of law enforcement. So, when we say law enforcement, hindi lang siya mag-i-stop sa police. We have varieties of careers in law enforcement. Ano yan? Pwede kayong maging police, pumbero, 'di ba? BGMP officer, Bucor, pwede rin sa parole and probation, 'di ba? Pwede rin as security marshal. Yan, madami po. Hindi lang siya mag-i-stop sa criminology. Kaya nga minsan, hindi naman natin masisisi yung iba. Okay? Ang nangyayari kasi, Akala kasi, ako na-experience ko yan kasi, di ba, nag-aral din ako CRIM. Akala nila kapag nag-graduate ka ng CRIM at pumasa ka ng board, automatic police ka na. Hindi po, di ba? It is your own choice pa rin kung saan kayo mag-a-apply. So, next. So, to develop an understanding of the constitutional guarantees and due process of law in the administration of justice. Next, also, to foster a higher concept of citizenry and leadership together with an understanding of one moral and legal responsibilities to his fellow men, his community, and the nation. Ayan. Next, what is criminal justice? Diba kanina pa binabanggit, ano ba yung criminal justice na sinasabi mo? Magkaiba po ba ang criminal justice sa criminology? Yes. Diba? So, the criminal justice system is, or CJS na tinatawag, is the machinery which society uses in the prevention and control of crime. So, the process is the totality of the activities of law enforcers, prosecutors, defense lawyers, judges, and corrections personnel, as well as those of mobilized community in crime prevention and control. Ma'am, ano pinagkaiba ng criminology and criminal justice system? Ang criminology, we're dealing with the study of crime, the study of criminals, the victims, diba? And also, kung paano magkakaroon ng prevention sa crime. Sa criminal justice system naman, ito yung ginagamit, sabi niya, machinery Ito yung ginagamit ng society for the prevention and control of crime. Paano yan, ma'am? Sabi niya, it includes the totality of the activities in what? Ito. So, merong 5 pillars ang ating CGS. So, in order for us to have the criminal justice system, binubuo siya ng 5 pillars. Okay. Number 1 is, meron tayong tinatawag na law enforcement. So, this is the pillar wherein, ito na yung mga police, ayan, BGMP, or sino yung mga law enforcement, nagpapatupad ng batas. Another pillar niya is what we call the prosecution. Ito naman yung mga nagpa-file ng formal charges dun sa crime na nakomit. And also, we have the court, diba? Naglilitis, diba? Ang nagbibigay ng judgment whether that person is a criminal or not. Also, we have the correction. So, after niyang ma-convict as a criminal, so dadalhin natin siya sa correction for that criminal to restore or to have a treatment. Next, the last one is the community or the informal section of our 5 pillars of the criminal justice, wherein after niyang magkaroon ng correction or magkaroon ng punishment or i-correct siya ng ating mga correctional institution, magkakaroon siya ng reintegration within the community. So, ano ba yung purpose ng criminal justice? Also, again, for crime prevention din. Pero magi-start ang criminal justice kapag, if and only if, na meron nag-commit ng crime. Again, so magi-start yan sa law enforcement. Okay, kaya nga 'di ba sabi ko sa inyo, kapag sa criminal justice, ang bida dito madalas, okay, is yung kriminal. Bakit? Kasi magi-start yan, okay, kapag merong na-commit ng crime. For example, bigyan natin ng example. So, Luigi Castro, sabi niya, so Luigi Castro, nag-commit ng crime, isa pala siyang mamamatay langgam. Okay? Okay? Forgive me if ganito binibigay kong example. Nasanay na ako. I'm just giving metaphorical examples just to have fun. Okay? Kung sana sigurong nasa classroom tayo ngayon, may mga actions pa tayong nagaganap. So, okay. Mr. Luigi Castro, okay ka lang ba dyan? Baka nagagalit ka? Mamamatay ka ba ng langgam?
Ayos lang po, ma'am.
Okay. Sige, sabihin natin mamamatay ka ng langgam. Tapos may batas tayo na bawal pumatay ng langgam. Katumbas siya ng mga murderer, di ba? Isa siyang crimes against animals, di ba? Okay, Mr. Luigi Castro, pumatay ka ng langgam. So, ano mangyayari niyan? Dahil merong crime na na-commit, dyan nagagana ang ating criminal justice. So, merong crime na na-commit, sino manghuli sa'yo? Si law enforcement. Sino yan? Yung mga police, di ba? Yung mga nagpapatupad ng batas. After doon, saan ka dadali ni law enforcement? Sa prosecution. Bakit? Ano naman ginagawa ni prosecution? Siya po ang nagbibigay ng formal charges or nagkakaroon muna ng preliminary investigation whether Diba? Nagkakaroon muna siya ng parang investigation whether yung crime na yon is na-commit ba or hindi. Baka naman maling accusation lang yan. After ni prosecution, after niya nakita may formal charges nga or totoong nangyari ang crime, nakita niya yung probable cause, dadalhin niya yung kaso or isasampa niya yung formal charges dito kay court. And si court, yan, magkakaroon na ng paglilitis. So, ikaw, Luigi Castro, ay inaakasuhan na ikaw ay mamamatay langgam. Diba? So, si court niyan, unless sinabi pa lang ni court na, okay, mamamatay langgam nga si Luigi Castro, dun pa lang natin pwedeng sabihin na si Luigi Castro ay isang kriminal. Always remember that. Kapag nasa law enforcement pa lang siya, prosecution, ang tawag pa lang sa dyan is suspect, respondent. Pero hindi pa siya kriminal. Unless, sinabi pa lang ni judge, you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt, ikaw ay isang mamamatay langgam. Therefore, ayan, kino-considered ka na as criminal. Mali kasi iniisip ng iba, dinampot pa lang ng pulis, criminal na ma'am, ni criminal niya ma'am. Hindi, suspect pa lang siya. Unless sinabi pa lang ni judge na, ay, si Luigi Castro, ayan, guilty beyond reasonable doubt. After noon, syempre, naging guilty na nga as mamamatay langgam si Luigi Castro, pupunta na tayo sa correction. Okay? Si correction, responsible siya para baguhin ang ugali ni Luigi Castro. Not just only to give him punishment, but to correct his behavior. So, kapag na-correct na siya, okay, ni correction, sino ba yung mga correction natin? Yan yung mga Bureau of Correction, yung mga Bilibid, ganyan. Also, we have the BGMP, ayan. Then, after nang na-correct siya, magkakaroon tayo ng reintegration within the community. So, syempre, panibagong buhay. So, yung acceptance or yung reactions ng community kapag nandyan na si Mr. Luigi Castro as mamamatay ng langgam. So, nakita nyo ba ang criminal justice system natin? So, again, criminal justice system, it is a process of the total activities of the 5 pillars. Again, what are the 5 pillars? We have the law enforcement, prosecution, court, correction, and community. And again, when we say criminal justice system, it is a machinery. Pag sinabi nating machinery, ginagamit ito, nino, ng ating society, ng ating country, or ng government, para masolusyonan or magkaroon ng prevention of crimes. So, may questions ba kayo? Do you have any questions about our discussion? So, this is the end of the course unit 3. So, as you all know, we discussed now yung parang pang 2 weeks na. Course unit 2 and course unit 3. Okay.